Chapter 1 Bankrupt Prodigy. You are listening at FameTV.info. William, are you feeling better today? The middle-aged white man in front of him walked up to Chin William and asked with a concerned look on his face. I feel good, Uncle Tom, thank you for your concern. William Chin looked at the newspaper in his hand and replied. But I feel that you have been staying at home these 2 days. You should go out for a walk, or I am afraid you will be too bored. I remember when you were in Los Angeles, you always said that I stayed home all night. Now that I am at home, you worry that I am too boring. Putting the newspaper on the table, William Chin moved his body and said with a smile. That because you went too far, William. After coming to New York, you changed so much, you read just like two people before, why don't I make an appointment with a doctor and give you a more careful examination, after all I fainted suddenly last time, maybe there will be some sequelae. The middle-aged white man sat beside Chin William and said to him with a serious face. No, I feel good, really. I made a plan to start exercising tomorrow, and I was just too weak. I recently reflected on what happened before, I was too naive, thank you, Uncle Tom, I feel good now, at least I don't have to be bothered by those tabloid reporters all day long. William, I am glad you can think so. After all, everyone can think clearly and mature when they are young. I believe your parents will be happy when they see this scene.as for your company, go bankrupt if it goes bankrupt. I ask the bank again. If it really doesn't work, I ask your Uncle John to help you again. Always keep the building your parents left for you, except for the current one. Other than the last thing they leave you. After the middle-aged white man finished speaking, he sighed, hearing the other party s words, a towering and spectacular skyscraper appeared in William Chin s mind. This 40-story building called Building 666 at the core of Fifth Avenue is the most important thing left to him by William Chin s predecessor parents. The property of, yes, it is the predecessor of William Chin. Because his current soul came into this body from another world. After coming here, from the vague memory of his predecessor and what he learned through other channels, William Chin silently found that his current situation was very bad. It can be said that his predecessor was a well-known figure in the United States, but his reputation was not very good. He was called the most famous prodigal in the United States since the 21st century. In the words of a newspaper report, in just 5 years, he was defeated. Lost the $1 billion in assets left by his parents. However, William Chin knew that it was not so exaggerated in fact. Chin William s predecessor can be said to be from a wealthy family. His father was a self-made Chinese real estate rich man, and his mother was born in a famous political family. The Dre family. William Chin s grandfather, George Dre, was a member of the Donkey Party. Whip, and my uncle, John Dre, was a congressman from California. Originally, he should have a good life, but everything has changed from 5 years ago. His parents both died in a traffic accident, leaving behind William Chin s predecessor. At that time, he was only 16 years old and just went to high school. It was fine at first, because they were still minors, and the parents' estate was entrusted by the people they trusted most, namely Uncle Tom and his uncle in front of them. And when William Chin s predecessor came of age at the age of 18, when he was in his second year of sophomore year, the two estate trustees handed over all the assets of his parents to him according to the agreement. So this prodigal son s prodigal journey began. Because of his handsome appearance and his popularity due to family factors, his predecessor made a cameo appearance in a movie at that time, but he didn't expect it to become an instant hit, and then he stepped into the entertainment industry. Because of his confidence in the success of his first film, he opened his own film company at that time. Not only did he act in films himself, but he also invested heavily in many film and television projects that I don't know if there is any curse in him. All the films that William Chen /S predecessor invested in, even 2 or 3 big productions, all ended in failure. As a result, not only did he lose the assets left by his parents, but also a lot of debts directly affected the biggest fortune of his parents during his lifetime. The 666 Fifth Avenue building in New York, Chen William now thinks about it. This predecessor has been working hard in Hollywood for these years, and probably the biggest gain is that he has made several star girlfriends, but what makes him depressed is that the predecessor is finished enjoying, leaving such a mess for himself to solve. Did not eat the meat, and was beaten to catch up, due to the failure of the film investment and the increase of a lot of debt. William Chen /S predecessor was a little self-sacrificing, and finally fainted suddenly after drinking too much at a party. When he wakes up again, the soul in his body is already him from another world in 2022. After Chen William woke up, his uncle who came here was furious and asked Uncle Tom who was in front of him to take him out of Hollywood and back to his home in New York. This time, Chen William, who has just come to this world, is also trying his best to get acquainted with everything in the current world, but what troubles him is that although the memory of his predecessor still exists, it is still a bit difficult to recall. This kind of feeling is like remembering the previous night after a hangover, always feeling vague, and you need to think carefully before you can get some fragments. Fortunately, for his condition, whether it is his uncle or Uncle Tom, they all think that it is because of the previous syncope, the sequelae, and there is even no lack of doubts that too much drinking has caused some damage to the brain. This also spared Chen William from thinking about reasons, and also gave him a reasonable explanation for his current behavior. William, Don /T blame John for forcing you to go back to New York. He can /T do anything about it. You did too much before, and now is also a very important period for him, so that /S why he did that. In fact, he still cares about you very much in his heart. I hope you can understand his painstaking efforts. Well, you have a good rest first, and then I will ask about the bank. Uncle Tom /S words brought William Chen back from his memory. The middle-aged white man in front of him who could still vaguely see his handsome face when he was young can be said to be the closest person to William Chen /S predecessor. Not only did he take care of him until he became an adult, but after he entered the entertainment industry, he also acted as his manager and housekeeper, and it can be said that he was the one who cared about him the most. As for the reason, he also somewhat understood from memory. Uncle Tom /S full name is Tom Hanks. Yes, you heard it right, the same name as some Hollywood actor, and he has seen a photo of Uncle Tom when he was young. It was a photo with his mother. He was very handsome at that time. At that time, William Chen /S predecessor even suspected that he had a story with his mother. It was only later that I found out that Uncle Tom and his mother could be said to be close friends who grew up together, and it could be seen that he had always had deep feelings for his mother, but unfortunately his mother met his father later. The two fell in love and united, and then there was the predecessor of William Chen. Uncle Tom can also be said to be a peerless seed of infatuation. Even so, he has been silently accompanying his mother, even though Chen William /S predecessor /S mother just regarded him as a brother. After his mother passed away, Uncle Tom also put this feeling on William Chen, treating him like his own son, even more than many American parents put on their children. But after seeing the photos of his mother when he was young, William Chen can also understand why Uncle Tom is so infatuated. When I was young, my mother was very good looking. If you saw Audrey Hepburn when she was young, you would understand how defiant she was. The two of them can /T say they are exactly the same, and they are not bad at all. And William Chen /S body also inherited the good looks of his parents, which is why he only made a cameo in the movie at the time, and he immediately became popular. Do you think it was because of acting? It is purely supported by the beauty of the sky, seeing the figure of Uncle Tom getting up and leaving, and what he said just now. William Chen couldn't /T help but return to reality. He needed to face the biggest headache for him at this time, which was the debt problem of the bank. Reading www.bookonshu.com. In fact, this matter is not entirely caused by Chen William /S predecessor. The most important part of the estate left to him by his former parents is the 666 building in the heart of New York / Fifth Avenue. This building was bought by his father at a record price of $1.5 billion in 2004. At that time, this incident even shook the United States and made this building the king of New York, but at that time, his father did not buy the building with full capital. He only paid $500 million in cash, and the rest of the funds came from loans. Originally his father had a comprehensive plan to remodel the building to increase its value. But things didn't go as planned, and soon after, his parents were involved in a car accident and both died, and the whole plan could not continue. At that time, after the death of his parents, the legacy left by him, in addition to the real estate of the building and his current residence, also included assets of nearly $200 million including company stocks and securities. However, these were sold at that time. After the assets, $100 million was used to pay off the short-term loan when buying the building, and the remaining $100 million was really lost by Chin William /'s predecessor, the prodigal family, and because of investing in movies and repaying the bank /'s follow-up loan, he has successively sold about 40% of the building /'s shares over the years. But the problem he faces now is that with the prosperity of the real estate industry in recent years, the valuation of the building has been rising continuously, and the pressure on the bank was not so great. However, due to the rising rent year by year, and the fact that Chin William /'s predecessor did not have talents who were skilled in business operations, the vacancy rate of the building for rent in the past 2 years was relatively high, and the income dropped sharply. The rise, which has reached the warning line, has caused the banks to be alarmed. Listen to the full novel at FameTV.info, direct link in the description.